this is a good looking group that you have on here. I'm scanning through. This is wow, quite a team. Thank you everyone for being here and being part of Oliabo, and many of you are getting your prima right now, so I'm sure there's going to be some good stories. Malcolm, I'm here for you for a few minutes. Do you have any questions for me, or what would you like me to address tonight, my good friend?
Well, I know that you and your brother, with a few years after your last success, kind of looked at the landscape. Ray and I were in that landscape. There was not a lot out there. A lot of people on this call were in that landscape. Seemed like a lot of companies lost their moral compass. And you, your brother, and a couple other men and Ashley said, you know what? I think it's time that the world got another chance. It's safe to dream again. How about you share that?
Yes, you bet. As many of you know, my story and my brother's story. But again, first of all, thank you, Malcolm, for allowing me to join your team here. You're an incredible leader. I mean, I'm just like fascinated watching how you're building, and I love it. I can't wait to continue to work with your groups. And so when Ray asked me if I could jump on, I didn't want to miss this opportunity. So yeah, we grew up in this industry, and many of you know that. Many of you may not know that. And the fact that we literally grew up in this industry. So our father started a Canadian vision of a network marketing company up in Canada. It was a company called Nature Sunshine Products. Malcolm, you're probably familiar with them. I'm sure you're aware of them. They've been around since the early 1970s. And so my father got involved when I was about 4 or 5 years old. So it was the mid 70s, about 4 or 5 years old, and my brother was maybe 7 or 8 years old, and we saw it. And so to me and to Gordon, what this industry represents is good. It means good. And if everyone, and I know that sounds very simplistic, but imagine it from the child's mind of a 4, 5, 6, 7 year old. It was in our house, actually in the basement of our house, for about 4 years. And it just represents good because people would come to our house. And remember, from my perspective, they were like, I got this health concern, much like you're experiencing right now. I'm willing to bet that, and I know what happened last night when we had on the call. For example, Lisa was talking on the call. I see Hernan there. I see your handsome face there, Hernan, waving. And Hernan talks to Fifi, and Fifi talks to Lisa. I don't know if there's other people in between there, Hernan. Sorry, I'm just kind of going, but I know approximately that uplight, and that's what happens. It's humans talking to humans, and that's what I saw as a kid. People would come in, human beings coming into my parents' lives saying, hey, I have this health concern, and they would leave with products and come back and feel better. And in most cases, they would also sign up to become an independent distributor. And we are the ultimate gig economy. Like, think about that. In the whole world, when people are like, oh, we need to find gig economy, I'm not trying to take away from that, but we're the OG. We're the OG gig economy. Isn't that interesting? And so to me, it's always represented good. It's a represented that people can stay in the comfort of their home, wherever they are. And Malcolm, you see this. You're perfect example. You're leading by example. You can do this wherever. And you can grow it from your comfort of your home, from the comfort of your car, from I talk to people regularly. They're in a Starbucks or wherever they are. This is what our industry is about. Human beings connecting with other human beings, sharing a product that means something to them, giving them the opportunity for a business opportunity from the comfort of their home. And this is all from the comfort of their homes. And we're bringing hope, and hope's a magical thing. It's amazing. And you heard the stories last night. I mean, those 4 stories were amazing, and they're only 3 to 4 days old. Imagine where we're going to be in a week or 2 weeks or so. And so to me, this industry represents good, Malcolm. To your question, we did watch it, and we watched it on the sidelines for a little while. And you know, I I approached my brother about this time last year and I said, "Hey, big brother, I got a little idea that I just was ideas, nothing more. I didn't really have anything sketched out, just came across a couple product ideas. And I said, in the new year, I'm thinking about going over to Asia and starting hitting all these markets and different stores and health clubs and just trying to find something. Streets, that's where a lot of stuff can be found. And I was thinking, and Gord said, hold that thought, little brother, come to my house. And so about this time last year, I went to my brother's house, and this is when Gordon shared this idea, this vision. And this vision is taking the world by storm, and it's going to change lives all around the world. And so I love people. I know, Malcolm, you love people. Ray loves people. I'm looking at just other people in here, Hernan, and I see Mike McCarthy in there, and I see a whole bunch of people a lot of names that I recognize and faces that I recognize. We love people. And when you look at the people who, as you study blue zones around the world, and this is linked very heavily to blue zones, particularly Greece and Italy, our products, But one of the things that is crucial and a part of the blue zones all over the world, blue zones being where people live more than 100 years old, they try to figure out, success leaves clues. Why are these people living so long? Well, community is one of them. And I love what you've done here tonight, Malcolm. Community. Look at all these people from all over the world. Hey, there's my brother Gordon. He just popped down. Hey, buongiorno. Buonasera, Gordon. And so, community. And that's what I think draws a lot of people back in. And I believe in the power of dreaming. I know you do too, Malcolm, because I've listened to you talk, and I love your passion, But I believe that when people stop dreaming, it's like the beginning of the end. And Ray says it in a different way. I think you're quoting Ray. Gordon and I were just talking about this literally just before I jumped on this call, and how Ray, you say we need to push ourselves. However way you say that, Ray, where it's if we're not doing our best,
don't get caught doing less than you're capable of doing.
That's it, Ray.
That's it.
That's it. Gordon and I were just talking about that literally like minutes before I jumped on this call. Exactly. And I think that is very real. In network marketing, direct sales, this industry is a perfect opportunity for us to do our best, to push ourselves out of our comfort zones and become all that we're meant to become. And when we stop dreaming, it's the beginning of the end. Network marketing kicks us out of our comfort zone and says, you can dream. It's safe to dream. Go for it. So that was my little thought. And I wanted to share that, Malcolm. Thank you for letting me share for a few moments.
Well, I love you, Morton brothers, big time. Thanks for all your support, all your help. Look at all those hearts you're getting, Joe. Everybody loves you. And
Thank you.
Gordon has joined us here. Malcolm, you want to introduce my friend?
Folks, the guy that has the weirder haircut than me, that was playing on his Frankenstein Stratocaster there, explaining the simplicity of our pay plan. The guy the big brother that said, little Joe, hold that thought, come on over to my place. Well, Gordon's it right here on the call. Surprise, surprise to every one of you. Thanks, Ray. Gordon, just before you jump on, thank you, man. Like what Joe was just mentioning. And you folks, if you've been out there in the wilderness for a few years, there's redemption. It's not at hand, it's here. It's in your pocket. Go get our product, go get involved in our pay plan, go get involved in this company. And Gordon, why don't you just tell them a little bit about how you saw that this industry needed to shake up and what you bought us. We got
Mike's off. Is your mic off, Gordon?
I'll stop mute.
Look at that. Technology. Murphy is always alive and well, even in the Philippines. So, no, thank you. By the way, Ray just sent me a text. He called an audible. They call that here in the States, calling an audible. Yeah, no, Joe got to listen in. It was really great. By the way, Malcolm, thank you, brother, for everything you're doing. Folks, if you haven't figured this out, Malcolm he gets out of bed every day with the energy of a great white shark. I'm pretty energetic, but that dude can beat me. Yeah, thanks for all your pioneering efforts. Anything in the pioneering in a new space. We've all, me, Ray, Malcolm, Joe, we all had conversations saying, is the industry broken to the point where Can you not no longer introduce a good supplement into the channel of direct selling, and where a army of impassioned people can help people to a better way to health and nutrition? And I was like, I don't think it's beyond fixing. I think we can solve issues to do with how can you create a business from the comfort and safety of your own home, even if that home is on an island in the middle of the Pacific Ocean, like Malcolm, I don't even know what island you live on, brother. That's how weird it is. Like, you live on an island so remote, I don't even know where you live. And this word of mouth, this little volunteer army that are on calls like this, thank you, by the way. I was trying to get my mic unmuted and I didn't start with a proper thank you. I'm this crazy cat that was raised with weird herbal gerbil parents like Joe, and I believe that when you put things like certain supplements, like the one that we're all talking about tonight, this little thing, and when you put it in your mouth, and from the time it goes from here to the time it gets to the other side, that's about 30 feet in the old imperial system. I don't know what that is in metric. Those 30 feet can change the way you feel. It can put a spring in your step. It can give you years life. It can add life to your years and years to your life. Actually, it's craziness that people don't, in this day and age, don't believe that anymore. And I think that unless it's dispensed by a pharmacy or by given to you by a medical doctor, that it can't possibly change your health and change the way you feel. I think that's an outdated, it's a load of crap is what I think. I'm allowed to say that. But yeah, guys, Ray called an audible and I said, yeah, I just coming into the house here. And I appreciate everything that you're doing. I'm here to tell you folks, 1 year from now, the entire world, there's going to be guys that are selling olive oil through traditional channels that are like, what the heck happened? People are asking me questions about my olive oil. And suddenly I'm under the microscope. I actually have to get better on the big mouth promises that our brand is making. That's going to be us. It's all y'all. Everybody on this call that's doing that. That's the plural of y'all. If you hang out with Ray long enough, you'll learn that y'all is just you and that all y'all is the whole group. Okay. So that's it. I didn't have anything prepared. Ray just said, can you jump on the call? But
he didn't have to have it prepared. I tell you how unprepared he is. He's the guy that had the idea this time last year with his little brother. And then come the last days of February, the start of March, Ray asked me, will you jump on a call? I said, who's it with? And Ray wouldn't tell me. And I said, okay, is it now? And he went, no, it's Thursday. He went, you're going to make me wait 2 days? And I did. And it was Joe and Gordon. And they had Curtis in the room and Ashley. And everybody laughed and teased me. And we had a great 2-hour conversation. Come Tuesday, Gordon said, I want you back on the call. This time he put together that slideshow. We went through what we had, and I thought 2026. And what happened? We're here. They under-promised, over-delivered. Products run. Products are out there, shipped. There's products going overseas already. Friday, you're all going to go, what the heck? Because one week after product delivery, you got pay showing up in your bank accounts. These boys really understand what it's all about out there. There's 3 components: owners, product, and us, the company, you guys. So that's why Gordon and Joe showed up, because of all you people. It's not because of me. It's not because of Ray. It's you folks. And you've got an opportunity to go and do it again. You and your brother have got a great lifestyle because of what you did before. How about that? Just tell them a little bit about it. I went and looked you up before. I went, what's Gordon up to now? And my first words were, we started on the movie business.
Yep. I was sitting right here, Malcolm. I ended up having a weird chat with you for like an hour that night. And it was like, we talked about Tom Cruise and Ford F-350 trucks that you were bringing in from Canada and St. George and Phuket and nutritional supplements. And it ended up in this dialogue. And folks, if you've heard this story, like sometimes you've been in the nutritional industry, and I call them herbal gerbils. Joe and I are definitely herbal gerbils. We were raised by parents that were into health and nutrition way before it was cool. Folks, it's cool now to have like bean sprouts in a sandwich. Now it's like kind of Chateau Fussy Pants to have like a sandwich that has like sprouts in it. But in the late 1970s, you just weird. Joe and I were like these kids that would be like, if you're in a hockey town in the middle of nowhere, Canada, and your mom has a health food store and your dad runs a herbal company, you just weird. man. And I liked my weird upbringing. I was enlightened about a bunch of things to do with supplementation, and that's real. That story is absolutely the way you hear it, complete with like awkward stories about like school lunches and things like that. But I also have Italian heritage. Joe and I. This is my office. I'm usually calling from the that radio right there was brought by my grandfather, Nono Angelo Stefanini, across the ocean. He carried it on his back in World War II on a bicycle, and it's part of my life. It is. And Malcolm alluded to us me having guitars. My office is surrounded by guitars, and I'm a weird guy, but I love people. I love health and nutrition, and I love network marketing. And that you don't hear that anymore. I am Gordon, and I love network marketing. Hello, Gordon. And about a year ago, I was starting to think, man, I don't know if this industry is gonna, I don't know if it's gonna make it. And I thought, I'm starting to buy into the same tired narrative that what a lot of people are saying. And I remember talking to Malcolm, and I was like, geez. Malcolm was saying some observations about the industry itself, and I'm like, oh, heck no. People like that exist out there. People like Ray Heron, folks that we're talking to on the other side of the ocean there in Australia. Wow. I got a DM. I told Ray about it today. Got a DM through Instagram, and it's somebody Joe and I know. We've skied with her, and she's like, are you starting a company? And I was like, yeah, why? And she said, I just got recruited in Australia. Are you in Australia? I'm like, no. She's like, where are you? I'm like, in Utah. She's like, they're acting like you're in Australia. I'm like, I kind of am through the robots, through the Mir space station, or however this is happening. I'm talking to Malcolm. It doesn't even sound like there's a delay anymore, right? Technology being what it is. But no, folks, I mean it. Like if I'm talking to you about air conditioners or like, I don't know, automotive parts, run, take your family to safety. That's not my hood. I'm not good at that. I have no business doing that, but I'm telling you, my dad used to say, Henry Ford used to say that if you cut his kids' veins, they'll bleed gasoline. And my dad said, if you cut my kids' veins, they're going to bleed herbal supplements. I was like, that's a weird thing to tell people, Dad. Like, that's the weirdest. Please stop saying that, right? But it's true. Like, Joe and I are just kind of funny. I have strong opinions about every supplement out there, and I can tell you from the entire alphabet, I know supplements in every single alfalfa, burdock, capsicum, damiana, echinacea, blah blah blah, freaking blah, yucca, zinc. I'm telling you, I've been raised with it. I love it. It's if you are ever on Jeopardy or whatever, and you get a lifeline, I don't think you do that on Jeopardy, and your topics are health and nutrition, herbal supplements, network marketing, call me, man. You'll win. You'll freaking clean house. So anyway, yeah. If it's surfing, call Malcolm. Malcolm is, that's his hood. So
you were so funny talking about. When I was a kid, most of you know I was a swimmer, good swimmer. But my mother got the idea. She heard about seaweed. So she went down we lived on a beach. She went down the beach and collected that rubbery seaweed off the shore. I would say, eat this. And I'd chew on it for an hour and it wouldn't go down. But when I started as a kid in the early 70s in the building game, and the food truck come around and they all went and bought their greasy sandwiches out of the food truck, I had a paper bag and I would put my hand in it. And you know what I'd pull out, Ray, Gordon, and Joe? I would grow bean sprouts at home, and I would eat handfuls of bean sprouts. And I don't think anybody in Australia even heard of what yogurt was back then. There was no flavored yogurt or anything. And I would eat yogurt. Yeah. Always. Your health. I'm telling you, these boys, Ray, we've all had a chance to make some money, but your health comes first. It doesn't matter how much money you got. Your health comes first. But, with their pay plan and what they have, and they solve that problem, get that weight off your shoulder, solve those debts, you get a lifestyle. We just move. I'm here at the beach. These aren't to show off my art. That's actually because the sun is right there coming over the waves, and I'm not moving my office to the other side of my house because that's my outdoor kitchen. Everything's outdoor in my life. So you get, as they say in Texas, go get yourself some of that, because these boys will put it on a platter for you. And like I put in that clip, all you got to do to go get a piece of this, put your foot on the gas.
Good advice. Gordon, thank you so much. Joe, if you're still there, thank you too. We think the world of you guys, and it's meant a lot. I'm thinking of what Jim Rohn says. We had considerably more people here earlier. Some of them have left. He used to say, who are these people that leave early? So I know that some of them that left early tonight is going to be very disappointed when their friends call them tomorrow and go, "Hey, guess what? Gordon and Joe did a cameo appearance. Glad you were here, Gordon. I love you,
You-
brother. And
Love
I
you
know
too,
you don't get
brother.
a lot of time with your family. You're working around the clock, and we really appreciate that. So, just we'll allow you to say good night to us, and thank you so much, both of you, for showing up and talking to the group here tonight.
Of course, you're the best. Both you. Thank you so much, Malcolm. Blessings, brother. Cheers.
Thank you, Gordon. Thank you, Joe. All right. Well, that was a special treat, huh, brother?
Thank you, Ray. Right? Hey, everyone,
Yeah.
you got that was not planned. So that there